show you our system. All right. Now, one other little fun fact, little announcement that we have going on. We have a committee right now working on a new business format system manual that we will have hopefully by convention. But here's the system. It starts off with prospecting. Okay. Prospect. What prospecting means is gathering names. And we're going to talk about that, but gathering names. So write that down. Gathering names. This is your number one responsibility if you want to be successful and make money. So some people say, oh, I'm focused on making money right now. Hello. That's what your number one responsibility is if you want to make money. How do you write business on people that you don't have? Names, clients that you don't have. So it starts with prospecting, name gathering. We'll get into that. The next thing you do once you have a bunch of names is you invite them. You invite them to watch a presentation. That could be a live presentation, what we call business presentation meeting, BPM, or it could be a one-on-one, a step one on the Zoom, whatever, but you're going to invite them. You need scripts to do that. Okay. And I'm going to show you that. And then the next thing that you're going to do is present. And pretty much all of our presentations are the same now. We call it step one. It starts with step one. There's not really any other presentations. It starts with step one, and it could lead into client or it could lead into a recruiting conversation, but it's basically all starts with step one. All right. Then you do a lot of follow-up. Sometimes we present and it's like not the right time for them, or let me talk to my husband or whatever. So there's a ton of what we do on a daily basis, which is follow-up. So you should be prospecting every day, adding names to your list every day. You should be inviting people every day to presentations. You should be doing presentations or having a field trainer do presentations for you every day. And you should be following up every day. And then once someone comes aboard, it's the startup phase. That is like when you get them licensed, when you help them understand, you start doing presentations for them and invites for them. And then duplication is the last part. So you do this over and over with your new guy, making phone calls, inviting, gathering names, presenting for them, doing follow-up for them, doing recruiting for them, starting people up for them until you have a field trainer. Okay. Got that, everybody? Now here's kind of how it works. This is what I want. You have that process turns into a new recruit. That process I just went over turns into a new recruit. The new recruit goes into the startup duplication part where you're doing it over and over again until you have a licensed person. Then the next phase is I want him to become a net license, meaning he's making money. $1,000 is the goal right away, make a net license. Then the net license turns into a field trainer. Then hopefully a junior field trainer where they're consistently doing 3-3-30. And then when we get those guys, we can make them into MDs and SMDs. Got it? That's the system flow. Got it? Pretty simple. Okay, now hold on a second. Let me get my whiteboard gone because my dumb computer keeps doing this. Okay, all right. That's the system. So let's start with prospecting. There's 3 ways to prospect that you should be doing daily. And I'm going to have you hear from some of the guys that are doing this daily. There's 3 ways. Write this down. Warm market, referrals, and then turning strangers into friends, like prospecting as you go. Okay. Warm market is meaning, who do I know and know of? So Daisy, my daughter, is getting into Elite Circle. Okay. She's fired up. She qualified for Elite Circle. Last night, she's like, are you sure? Can I handle this? I'm like, girl, I was a wild card my first couple days in the business and I graduated. Your dad wasn't even licensed the entire class and won the freaking sword. You can handle this. She's like, but I have school and I have this and I have that. I'm like, people have 5 kids and 3 jobs, man. Like, you can do this, right? Like, do Elite Circle. She's like, okay. So she got her homework in late last night, right? But she put together her top 25. And she's like, well, I have 25 names, but she's like, I can't remember this guy Brian's name. And I'm like, well, where'd you meet him? She's like, I prospected him. He was my Uber driver. Then I'm like, put Brian in parentheses, put Uber driver. She's like, I'm not going to get a strike. I'm like, you're not going to get a strike, right? But this is her, she's so good at prospecting as you go. Like, she's very good at that, okay? But warm market is everyone you know or know of. So this could be every person in your cell phone that's not in WFG. So where you start with your warm market is you just write a list of everyone you know. So now all of you guys that are frustrated not where you want to be financially, feeling stuck, be coachable. Like freaking be coachable, okay? This is where you start. Just make a list. No one's gonna call that list. No one's gonna take your list. You don't even have to freaking call the list, but you have to start. You have to have this abundance mentality of, okay, I do know more people than I thought. I do have a 300 name list. Please do it. Everyone who's done this, like that I've done this with, has been gone on to make lots and lots of money. Dana came up with 300 names. We only got through like 10 or 15 of them, and she was an SMD. She never called them all, but she came up with 300 names. So did Rusty. So warm market. Just think of everybody you know and write them on a list. Okay. And think of the warm market as not, I'm going to recruit this guy. I'm going to sell that guy. That's too scary. I was always scared to talk to my warm market. I'll just be totally honest with you. I hated it. I hated it. So freaking scary to me. I made so many excuses of why not to call my aunt. I wish I had, because I didn't call my aunt. And guess what? Her husband fell off a roof. He was a construction worker. He fell off a roof at his house and he was unable to work. And they went through really hard times. But not only that, he also contracted, when he stopped at an accident to help in an accident and pulled someone from a car, and contracted hepatitis C, and he's uninsurable. And they had 3 kids. So I'm just telling you right now, like everybody in that warm market don't have any of those stories. Dana has a story like that. I have a story like that. Don't you have a story like that? If they don't want to listen to you, that's fine. But don't you be at the chicken that didn't help your family. Okay. But that's your warm market. Second thing is referrals. Now I'm good at that one. I'm good at that one, right? So referrals is you come aboard, let me make a list for your 25. Now that's 25 referrals for me. Or I sit down with a client and I help a client and be like, look, remember, I didn't charge you anything. I didn't charge you a dime. Your family's protected because this person right here wasn't a chicken. So you can help me out and you can pay me by referring me to people that you care about. And I got good at getting referrals. And I never said, who do you know? Here's what I said. Who do you know in real estate? Who do you know in mortgage? Who do you know that's a CPA? Who do you know that's in sales, but maybe doesn't like the environment over there? Who do you know that doesn't get paid what they're worth? Who do you know that's awesome with people? Who do you know that's a teacher? Who do you know? Who do you know? Who do you know? That's a picture that comes to their mind. I got good at that. And then the last one, I'll just tell you, I sucked at. And that's turning strangers into friends. That was like talking to someone I didn't know and getting a number. But I forced myself to do it. And I still am not good at it. And there's still times that I'm like, why didn't I get the number? You chicken shit. Like, why didn't you get the number? Right. But it still happens to me. But here's what it is. It's a skill. It's funny because like these are people you probably will never see again. I wouldn't see that couple again on the plane, probably ever again. It's funny. She's like looking me up while I'm there, like, on the thing. And she's like, I'm going to buy your book. And she shows me my book on Amazon. I'm like, cool. Right. So, worst case scenario, you never see him again. They say no. Best case scenario, they could become your CEO or their life's changed or their family's taken care of because of you. Okay. So now I want to have 3 people talk really quick. These are top 3 recruiters right now. Michelle Drew, right? And Susie Evangelista and Adewale. So if you guys can come up, I want all 3 of them highlighted on the screen really quick. I want you guys to take some notes from them. So Adewale is recruiting in his warm market. And a lot of what he's doing is coming from follow-up. He's excited right now and he's just following up on old stuff. Susie and Jason are turning strangers into friends. And they're doing it in a lot of different ways, but I wanted them to highlight, they're doing some on social media and how they're doing that. And then Michelle, it's a lot of warm market, right? She's going through, but see, your warm market's so funny. I want to tell you something really quick. All of this is pretty much warm market, but they're doing it in different ways. Michelle works at Southwest Airlines, correct, Michelle? Is it Southwest? Okay. So now she understands that every person that works at Southwest is her warm market, even if she's never met him. So Susie Evangelista was a nurse. So now she understands that all nurses are her market, even if she's never met them. So I want you guys to pay attention. Your market is so much bigger than you think. if you would just start shifting your thinking to abundance and excitement and service and helping others instead of just thinking so selfishly of like, what do people think about me? Meh, right? And then being broke. All right. So I don't know who wants to go first. Maybe Susie, you want to kick it off. Go ahead. Take a few minutes each. Take a lot of notes here, though. You guys are going to talk fast.
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you, Coach. I appreciate you. And man, you guys, I hope you are really feeling the moment right now. The timing has never been better. The company has never been better, and it's only getting better. And so, as far as social media prospecting, I actually want to share with you guys our numbers. So, rolling 12 months, Jason and I are at 46 personal directs. Last month, we
Dang,
did.
girl. Okay, so
And
46
so far,
personal. How many last month and how many so far in November?
last month, record-breaking career best 10, and we're going to break it again this month. We're at 5 so far just this past week. And then
So
our
5
base
directs
is
this
11.
week and 10 so far, 10 last month, almost 50 for the year.
Yeah.
I want to challenge you, Susie.
Okay.
From last month, 6 months, 60 wide in 6 months.
Okay.
60 wide in 6 months. This is something only some giants in our industry have done. 60 wide in 6 months. Go ahead, Susie.
Okay. Yes. So if it is just you, yourself, and you, and I love our business because there's no such thing as cold prospecting, right? It's turning a stranger into a friend. And that really is social media, right? I know we're taught to go from your known market to your unknown market, right? Your known market is so limited. We only have so many amount of
Oh, we lost
siblings
Michelle.
and cousins. But wouldn't you guys agree that there are people that we know that know someone that knows someone that knows someone? That's the power of field training. That's the power of taprooting. But Jamie, I got you 60 wide. How do you do that, you guys? Social media. We have the wind at our backs through social media. So whether it's Instagram, maybe it's Facebook, it's LinkedIn, whatever platform you use, if you want to get into whatever market you want to get into, you want to get into a nursing market, you want to get into an engineering market, teaching market, stay-at-home parent market, whatever that is for you, it's really all about being
It could be mama football players. I'm going to do that for mama football players. It could be, guys, if you like Pomeranians, Pomeranian market, okay? It could be anything.
That's right. And so I want to encourage you guys to really use this to your advantage, because when you're using social media, it's just going cold for one touch and you're already back in a warm market. Okay. So what Jason and I do, and we train our teams to do this, is whatever platform that you're on, find a way to look up some hashtags, right? So whether it's, burnt out teacher, stay at home mom, work from home, whatever it is, and you're just looking at whoever posts, right? And you're just following them. It's all, if you're running social media, think all just volume. It's pure volume. Okay. And so what you're
Yes.
going to do, you're going to add all these prospects and you're going to DM them. One of the things, a script, a bulletproof script that we're using right now, and I'll read it to you guys. So I'll message someone. This is one of our new directs, a 117. This past week, I said, hey, blank, hey, Adewale, right? Hope you're having a blessed year. My husband and I are both retired nurses in California. We're hosting a free webinar, right, aka BPM presentation this Tuesday at 5 p.m., sharing more info on how we did it. We want to help more people do the same. Are you free at that time? Send a flyer. Volume. So we're probably shooting at maybe 50, 60, 70 messages a day. You guys, not everyone will answer. That's okay. Think volume. And the right people, this lady here, she messaged me back and she said, I'm actually available for the webinar and I've been wanting to learn more about financial freedom. People are really looking. People are really looking, but are we taking the time and are we being consistent and are we thinking volume? I have a stud here, Ike Anacor. We met on Instagram. He's out in Texas, a registered nurse from Nigeria, such a stud. Met him through Instagram, got licensed. Last night we were on the field with someone in his hot market.
Registered nurse from Nigeria. Man, Adewale, she's going after your market.
Catch me, right? So this stud Ike here, we're making phone calls and his script was like, hey friend, hey, I met some nurses retired through their business. They've taught me financial education and how to make another stream of income outside of nursing. Took it away. I don't know if it'd be a fit for you, but hey, I'd love to share with you over Zoom. Poof. Easy peasy. We were out on the field last night. She's a registered nurse as well. Recruited her. Now we're back in a warm market. So you see, we went from a cold, turn them into strangers into a friend. We're back into a warm market, and it's all volume. It's all volume.
Yes. Okay. Will you just hold up your phone and show them how to search a hashtag so everybody knows? And then also You guys know what she means by DM, right? So here's what you would do. You'd search a hashtag. She said hashtag burnt out nurses. Okay. Then you can look on there, find somebody, friend that person. Like basically, you know how to make a friend, right? Like follow them. And then you can comment on some of their stuff, like just leave on some of their posts, make a comment. Okay. So you do the search, burnt out teacher. Perfect. Hi, Benny. um, find some people. You might, if there's someone that you don't like, don't follow them. Someone that you like, follow them. Comment on a couple of their things, and then you DM. So show them how to go on there and DM.
Yes, so check out this, you guys. Whatever hashtag you're using, find one that has a lot of traction. So this one has a 202 likes. There's someone in there you're going to recruit. Okay, so look at the likes. Okay, and then follow, 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 follow. Copy and paste. Can we all copy and paste? Copy and paste. Invite, present, run that system. Think volume. That's it.
Yep.
That's really all it
And
is.
she gave you a couple ideas of what to say when you DM them, but show them like where. I mean, let's assume that they don't know how to do this, right?
Okay.
Like I'll tell people to share my posts, and they're like, "How do you do that?" Right? so they don't know, but show them how to just DM.
Yes. So whatever hashtag, whatever market you want to get into, it's all at your fingertips. The wind is behind our back. So I'll give you this example. This was one of our newer gals here. Let me see here. So all volume, reached out to her. Hey, Anna, right? Found her on, I don't know, hashtag burnt out nurse, right? Or, hashtag I want to be financially free, right? Hey, Anna, hope you're having a blessed week so far. My husband and I are retired nurses in California, and we're hosting a free webinar this Tuesday, right? BPM presentation, the same presentation, okay? Sharing more info on how we did it. We're piquing the interest. We want to help more people do the same. I want you guys to really be focused on expansion, building distribution, growing nationwide. Okay. This past week, actually, we've grown in 13 different states just by running this, you guys. Okay.
Yeah.
And so I
okay.
sent
Neil, you tell me if there's any questions. If you have questions, put them in the chat. But did you hear she said she went into 13 different states in the last 30 days?
Someone asked, do you have a business Instagram account or do you just use your personal account?
personal account, you guys. If you guys look at mine and Jason's Instagram, we love the crusade, but one thing that we really sold out to is like the freedom, right? People will buy into, right? When for example, I met this lady, Anna, like cold market, turned her into a friend. But you know what she said? She said, you know what, Susie, I love that you and your husband are so big in your faith. People buy into that first.
Oh yeah. Thanks, Susie. One of the things, like I just got a client last week from social, and he had hashtagged whatever and found like creating a budget or something, and he found a post of mine about creating a budget, and he said that he reached out to a bunch of people, but by looking at my social media, he said, I feel like you're about faith and family first, and that's why we went with you. So there's not very much at all on my social with financial, but it is about putting faith and family first. And that was what mine's about. So it's my personal Instagram that he found about what I stand for. Okay. So that you can take that down, Susie. So one of the things I would tell you is be careful what you're putting on social. Be careful what you're putting on social. Don't be putting like champagne or something. You know what I mean? Like don't put weird stuff. All right. Michelle, do you want to kind of tell them what you're doing? So Michelle is how many? I think you got a bunch of personal recruits in the last few months.
We have, I think 5 or either 6 in the last 7 or 8 days.
Yes. So, and again, she's going into her warm market, which is her people that do what she does in her company mostly, but she's also prospecting as you go. So go ahead, Michelle.
Mostly what I'm doing is just really appealing to people's hearts and saying, you joined this company. We're here because we care about each other. We're here because we care about people. How many people are missing out on this blessing? Like your family is missing out on a blessing. And how much money did you waste last week? You could take $155 and change your whole entire life. Like you totally wasted that money. So it's $125 to join, it's $30 to get started. If you take your exam in 2 weeks, you get a $40 bump in pay. Like I didn't get that. Like, I'm telling you, this is like crazy amazing because you actually care about people, because you love people. And so I'm just appealing, I guess, to them, and then doing my best to speak in my PCM language and really kind of figure out, what energy, I mean, I'm sorry, what they like, what their the way that they speak. And
Mhm.
so, and then I tell
Likes and
them,
needs,
sorry.
likes, dislikes, needs, hot buttons, paying attention to that. If they have kids and they want more time with their kids, that's a hot button. You know what I mean? More money, more appreciation from a boss, like those are hot buttons. Yeah.
Yes, so I mean that really has been it. I talked to them about the silver tsunami is this year. More people this year are turning 65 than ever have in the entire
I
history
think it's
of our
7,000
country.
people a day is
Yeah.
what I heard, is turning 65. So that's a huge one. I love that you mentioned that because like if that's true, like 6,000 or 7,000 people a day or something, like, if someone knows the number, put it in the chat. Correct me if I'm wrong. But that's insane, first of all. Okay. And that's what we do. Think about all of those people that are turning 65. Don't they want to know about how to get their money into something that has a floor, that still can earn good money, but has a floor that they can't lose? This is a fixed index annuity heaven right now. Okay. We're in fixed annuity heaven, rollover heaven. Okay. So, like, everybody that's like getting close to retirement needs to hear from us so that we can put their 401ks and their mutual funds and their whatever into a fixed index annuity so they can still have withdrawals right away, income that's guaranteed for life. The number one fear now is not death or public speaking, it's outliving their income.
Yep.
It's outliving their income. So, like, I had one person tell me one time, oh, they don't have a good market. It's mostly like people getting ready to retire. I'm like, do you know what we do? Like, do you really know what we do? Like, what the hell?
Yes.
Right? So,
Yes.
like, but that's the best market, right? So, that's awesome. So, Michelle, though, do you text them? Do you call them? How do you like how do you prospect these guys? How do you get their names?
A lot of them I see in person. The ones that I'm not in person with, I call them and I really appeal to them because and you were saying like my warm market is all of Southwest. Well, I've decided my warm market is if you work for any airline. So
Bingo.
Spirit
Bingo.
Airlines.
That's okay. That's Fombo's deal. Fombo's like,
Mhm.
you're African, you're my hot market. Every
Right.
African in the United States, I'm taking you. Adewale,
Right.
don't let that happen. I want Adewale to
Yeah.
recruit the entire African continent for me, but also everybody
Yeah.
else. But yes, I love that. See that abundance mindset, you guys. Go ahead.
Yeah. And so I have a girlfriend that flies for Spirit. Spirit is getting ready to lay off people. Spirit is talking about going bankrupt. Why are we not in Spirit Airlines? Any company, anything. I mean, because even at Southwest, they're getting ready to do a buyout. So if they're getting ready to buy people out, like I keep telling people, there's 3.3 million people who have not heard of what we do. What are you doing to reach at least like 1,000 people? Like you can easily do that.
Yes.
You can easily do that. And so then I just talked to them about how easy the business is and why wouldn't you help somebody to have
Yeah.
a better life?
I love this. Do you think people are like totally content right now with their incomes, with their savings, with their boss? If you think so, you're delusional, people. Like, you're delusional. People are
Mhm.
praying for Michelle's call. They were hoping that Susan, now that if Susie reaches out, they might be skeptical. They might be, right? They might say no, they may not answer. The right people, though, are looking for you if you just reach out. I love that. Anything else, Drew? Michelle, you want to add?
No, really, that's it. I'm passionate about it, and I really believe if you are passionate, people are excited about you, and then when people are excited about you, people do business with people they like.
Yep.
And so if you are likable and what you say is from your heart and it is true, people want to be a part of your team. And then I talk to them about the culture that Christina has created for us.
Selling the
That
dream.
culture is
I
one
love
of
it.
integrity, dreams. I mean, no one is left behind. We work as a team. It doesn't matter We are
Selling
a
the culture,
team.
the
So,
environment. People are like, I hate my boss and I hate
Yep.
Spirit. I hate
Yep.
Spirit Airline, right? Can you imagine? I actually sat on a plane next to a pilot who was a pilot, and he said he had worked, he didn't at the time, but he had worked at Spirit. I'm like, I won't fly Spirit, right? Like it's so bad. And he's like, pilots are the same. But see, like now you can say, like, everyone in the airline industry is my
Right.
hot market, right?
Yep.
So
Yep.
awesome. Okay, and so one thing I want to mention, like Susie is in business with her husband Jason. Michelle is in the business with her husband Drew. They're, and they're both out there like building a business together. Even if one is licensed, I think in this case both of you guys are both licensed, but even if they're not, they're like in this together. You know what I mean? And prospecting, both of them are prospecting. I love that. All right, Adewale. Adewale is going wide too. I don't even know what he's like this last couple months, just something clicked. And he's recruiting. But a lot of it, Adewale, is warm market, correct?
Not in particular one market. Thank you, Jamie, for the opportunity to share. It's just basically going out to make every market your market, hone it or like you want from what can you get from one market, then the one market, particularly those ones that probably they're not interested, you want to key in on asking them for referrals, right? You want to ask them for referrals and say, okay, I know maybe this is not for you now, but who do you know that you can give me numbers to reach out to, right? And once you get that referral, most of the time, if you're waiting for them to call for you, they're probably not. I know there was a script our CEO, Rusty Hood, gave us, a time ago. And so what I do is that when they gave me that referral, I quickly send a text message, three-way text message, and say, hello, Susie. My name is Adewale from Revolution Financial Management. I apologize for not calling you sooner, but your friend, Michelle, asked me to reach out to you. Is it a good time to give you a call now? And as soon as I drop that text, I'm not waiting for a response. I'm calling immediately, right? They already have a text that has the number of the other person that they know. So you want to reach out to them, or basically you want to send give a script, maybe to the guy that is trying to refer you and say, this is what I want you to do. All I want you to do is test this message to me and to your friend, right? Then I'll pick it up from there. You don't need to do any other thing for me. Just do me, maybe sometime you are with them. You did a text message, take their phone and punch the text message and send it to them and their friend, and you pick it up. It's just what you want to get is the starter, something to just open up the conversation for you. Then old teammates, some people who joined long time ago and they decide this is not for them, then go back to them and say, okay, I know this is not for you, but who do you know that this can that can benefit? So it's following up, is updating your prospect list, is asking for referrals, right? So
Yeah.
get good at those three things and we'll help. Okay.
I love it. So out of everybody that talked, Adewale's way is kind of more like how I have done it. And so that's my favorite way to do it. But I love how he said follow up. He said, I just keep putting names on my prospect list and I follow up. I've recruited people that I've invited many times. I remember recruiting someone that I invited to my first grand opening. I'm prospecting a girl right now that was my roommate when I worked at Bally's. Well, before the first roommate I told you about, the crazy one. This was before that. Rakina Jones. I love Rakina, but she was my roommate. I'm like, I think she's awesome. I want Rakina back in my in my life. Okay. And now we're moms. She has this big old 17-year-old boy that's like a basketball player that's gonna go off to college soon. I'm like, I can't believe how like we were posting or we were texting through or DMing through Facebook. She gave me a picture. She's like, she's back with her fiance, which was her boyfriend back then. And I said, oh my gosh, I was there when you guys first fell in love. And she's like, oh my gosh, I have this picture. It was our first Christmas together and you took it. And I'm like, remember those dumb little kittens that we bought? We bought kittens in our apartment. We named them Alexis and Mercedes. and she's like, oh my gosh, those kittens. And she's like, pulls up a picture of those kittens. And I'm like, why haven't I not prospected her? But through Facebook, I found her, right? And so so I love, like, I'm kind of doing all of these things. And that's why I want you guys to hear from these guys. Okay, thank you guys. You're the best. Keep it up. 60 wide in 6 months. Maybe I'll challenge all of you because that's phenomenal if any of you guys do it. Okay. So I just want to go through before we're done here. And then, I want to make one little announcement while everybody's still on. Some of you guys might have seen on Ed Milet's social media that he is doing an event that costs $20,000 for the day. Has anybody seen that? It's like 20,000. It's a day with Ed Milet, $20,000 at his home. So I know most of you guys can't afford that. If you can, it's probably awesome. Well, I'm gonna do it to bring the information back to you. Okay. And so I'm gonna bring it back. I'm going to do, what are we calling it, Neil? You want to put it up? Goal Getter Day? Goal Getter Day, where we're gonna go through what Ed and myself do to create like exactly how to hit your targets. And so it's going to be on the 14th. So if you want to be a part of this, I'm going to charge for it. I'm going to charge $100. It's the same day as that Fast Start School. Our new people will be in Fast Start School. It's not going to cost you 20 grand. It'll cost you $100. It'll offset half of my cost, okay, to go. And so if anybody wants to be a part of that, I'll probably let 100 people in, and it will be via Zoom, so you don't have to pay any other money. Okay. So if you want to do it, do it. It's going to be very private, like meeting, very strategic. What I do, what Ed does, will bring a lot of that back. He said I could go through and bring everything back to the team this way. Okay. So you have that. Take that screenshot. That's December 14th, not on a leap day. Everybody got that? You can take it down now, Neil. Okay. Again, limited amount of people in that. All right. So I want to go through with you how I prospect on each of these ways. The warm market. Now, remember, prospecting is a different phase than inviting. Inviting is actually calling them to set an appointment. We're purely talking about prospecting. What is prospecting again? Put it in the chat what prospecting is. What is prospecting? Oh my gosh, there's so many. The chat's blowing up today, huh? I can't get to the bottom of the chat. Are they saying they're gathering names? Good. Okay. Gathering names. Man, I had to go down a lot. Okay. Gathering names. So warm market is going through your warm market and putting it on a piece of paper with their phone number. That's all it is. That's the name gathering part. So you can't move on to presentations, making money, prospecting, building people until you've done this first step. I want to challenge every single person in like sincerity to do this, to make a list of everybody that you know and know of. It could be cute blonde girl at the bank that's always friendly. You don't know her name, but you want to prospect her eventually. The guy that's super motivating on the kids' baseball team, the motivating guy, the one that's always encouraging and praising the kids. I don't know his name, but maybe he's on a different team. He's on the opposite team's coaching staff, right? Put them on there. Okay. So that's all that is. That's not hard. There's no particular skill set that you need to do that. You just need to open your dumb cell phone or whatever, right? Or maybe it's a church directory, or it's, a wedding list from the past, or your Facebook group, your Instagram list, or your whatever, and create your warm market. That's your warm market. Okay. Now, Adewale talked about referrals. This is how most of my directs came. I call it the friend of a friend. It's my favorite way to recruit. It's the best retention. They stick. Okay. So how did Adewale say? He's like, I follow up. He's like, follow up with everybody I know without even the intention of selling them or recruiting them. But it's who do you know? So let's say you made that gigantic list and you called all of them, even the people you've called in the past, and you say, hey, listen, things are better than ever. I'm so excited about the direction of this company. I thought it was good. It's actually phenomenal, but I could use your help. You're not trying to recruit them. You're not trying to sell them. I want to sit down with you, brainstorm. Auntie, I figured that you'd be supportive of me of launching my career. Let's brainstorm of people that I could talk to. I'm not going to pressure them. I'm not going to do anything salesy. I'm just going to educate them. Who do you know? Who do you know from church? Who do you know from work, mom? Who do you know from your neighborhood, dad? Who do you know from your women's group, sister? Who do you know? Okay. And then same thing, go back to clients, go back to past recruits that quit. Who do you know? Things are taking off. I would love for you to support me in this. And then you keep ask many people many times. You know how many times I've gone back to my mom and say, who else do you know? Who else do you know? Swan Nguyen in his book talks about 30 days relentless. He went 30 days straight where he wouldn't not get a name, and he wouldn't go home before 10 p.m. He wouldn't stop working till before 10 p.m. for 30 days straight. And so he didn't have an appointment. He'd have to go do a drop by. And he said he walked up to his brother-in-law's house at 9 o'clock at night. And his brother-in-law's like, I don't know anymore, people. Right? I don't know anymore. Like, has your family thought you're crazy yet? Has your family said, leave me alone yet? Well, then you're not doing your job. Swan Winslow, they're like, leave me alone. I've given you everybody. He's like, no, just give me one more name. You know why I'm doing this. I'm going to change our whole family's life forever. Give me one more name. And Swan said he felt like it was like barely damp cloth where he's trying to wring it out to get one more drop, one more name. That one more name could have been that client that the family, the widow's taking care of. So that's referrals. I'm really great at that. So Neil, can you pull up, this is just a couple of my clients in the last couple days. I want to show you this. I just pulled it off my text messages. I gave it to Neil. This is three-way text from my client to his friend. Okay. So this is what I want all your clients and your family members doing for you, to teach them how to do this. Okay. So this is my client, Christopher, three-way texting his friend, Matt. Okay. And it says, okay, Matt, please meet a fabulous human being, Jamie Villalobos, spelled my name wrong, an incredible financial advisor, speaker, author, coach, and mom. I can add so much more, but I'll let you two unpack all that. Jamie, Matt has recently received some inheritance, and I think it would be better for him to speak with you about it. So I just did, what did I do, Grace? An $800 a month IUL and 3 rollovers with him. Okay. I answered back. I said, hey, Matt, I'll DM you directly, or I'll text you directly so we can get it into a private chat. I text him. I said, hey, Matt, when's a good time to call? He's like, let's chat right now. So I called up Matt. I'm like, hey, I'd love to speak with you. How do you know Chris? He's like, oh, we met from blah, 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 blah. We know each other from, I think it was college. And I said, okay, cool. When can we get on a Zoom? I'd love to kind of show you what we do. Boom. And this guy, I'm probably going to recruit, and I like him so much, I'm going to find him a wife, because he's about to turn 40 and he's single, and I really like him. Okay. So anyways, that's that guy. You can pull up the next one, Neil. This is from another client. Hey, Jamie, please meet my friend and client, Jerry, an excellent electrician, family man, football coach, and scaling his business rapidly. I feel you can guide him on his financial advising optimally. Give him a trajectory. Jamie is simply incredible. Best-selling author, mother, coach, leader. Again, same thing. Hey, Jerry, I'll give you a message in a minute. We can talk. Hey, Jerry, I'd love to meet with you. When is good for you and your wife? Boom, jumped on a Zoom the next day. Go ahead to the next one. Okay. Hey, Jamie, please meet my friend and client, Kara. Now, this is from a couple months ago. The last two were from last week. Kara, hey, Jamie, please meet my friend and client, Kara. Kara recently opened her own personal training business 3 months ago and just landed her 3rd client on her own and is ready to build her net worth and wealth. Told her, I knew you, we're just a lady to help her. Take it from here, ladies. Okay, thanks, Neil. So I just want to show you a couple of these. This is friend of a friend. You can take it down, Neil. This is friend of a friend. This is my favorite way. Now, I get on the phone with Kara, slam dunk. I get on the phone with Jerry and his wife, slam dunk. I get on the phone with these guys, slam dunk. Okay? Teach your friends and family members to do this. All it is an edification introduction. Okay? Instead of just, they can give you the names, but teach them. If it's your mom, don't you think she wants to help you? If it's your best friend, don't you think she wants to help you? Right? But you're not asking. Someone asked Anthony Agugliaro yesterday while I was at Andre's event. They said, well, how do you get referrals? And he goes, what do you mean, how do you get referrals? You ask people for referrals. You ask. Adewale is asking. So he's going wide. Okay? That's my favorite way. So warm market, put names on a paper. The other way, ask for referrals. If you do it and you do it enough, they start just sending 3-way texts out. Okay. So we get these, Rusty gets those three-way texts from clients like every single month. Okay. And then the last one, turning strangers into friends. So I will just give you a couple scenarios. Okay. One was my Uber driver, Jessica. We're driving, right? We're driving from the hotel to the airport after the meeting a couple days ago. I said, so Jessica, is this all you do? Or you drive Uber or do you have a job? She goes, oh, I'm a dental hygienist. This is what she said. I'm a dental hygienist. But at my job, they won't let me be part-time. And I have a son who has autism, severe autism, and I need to be there more. And as a dental hygienist, they won't let me be part-time. So I have to do this. Thank God my husband has a job too. I said, oh my gosh, that's what I love about my company is that moms can have freedom to put their family first. I have 4 kids. My daughter Daisy wasn't ever on the spectrum, but when she was little, she had severe sensory processing disorder, and it was really, really rough. And I love that I can kind of just be there all the time. And she's like, oh my gosh, yeah. And I said, oh, so you're not working at all as a dental hygienist? And she's like, no. I'm like, oh my gosh, out in my California team, we have a dental hygienist that's just taking off now. She's full-time with us. I should get you guys in touch. Actually, I have a lot of people out here in Florida that maybe we could help you out. Have you ever thought about doing something that's more flexible and making more money than Uber? She's like, yes, I need it. And I said, then I just said, okay, maybe we can exchange numbers. Then I just started asking her about her son. I said, we do a lot with Autism Speaks, but is he have to do occupational therapy and speech therapy? She's like, yes, every day, and I have to be driving him around. And I said, okay, is he nonverbal? She said yes. And then she opened up and she started telling me, like, he's getting violent towards his sibling. And we had this wonderful conversation. I'm like, and I truly wanted to help her too. She's like, and then she goes, do you have a card? I said, let me look. I know I didn't have a card, but I looked through my purse and I had this little notebook. This is the notebook I had. And I had a Sharpie in my purse and I had a notebook, and I wrote Jamie, and I wrote my phone number, and then I ripped the page out, and then I wrote at the bottom, Jessica, what's your number? And she gave me her number. It's in my purse. And I handed her this ripped out piece of paper, folded in half. I put it in the front seat, and I put her number in my phone, in my purse. And I said, awesome. I'm traveling right now, but I'm going to try to get in touch with you at the beginning of the week. Does that sound good? Yes. And then we just started talking about other things. That was one. Then I go to the airport and I see the lady, and I'm buying earbuds. Literally, Neil, how long did I have between my flight? Like, my flight was boarding in like 5 minutes, right?
Yeah.
And I had to
Like
run over.
5-10 minutes.
I run over to the little place, and it has like off-brand weird earbuds. And he's like, keep going. There's probably another technology store. And there was. So I go in there and I'm like, she's talking to me. And I'm like, which ones are good? Which ones this and that? I know which ones I wanted. But then I said, okay, so I have a really beautiful accent. Compliment. Where are you from? From Haiti. Oh my gosh. Wow. One of my business partners from Haiti. Do you speak French as well? She's like, yeah. I'm like, how long have you been here? She's like, 4 months. I'm like, 4 months working here, 4 months in Florida, or 4 months in the country? She's like, 4 months. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Okay, awesome. Well, listen, do you love it? She's like, well, I'm learning, not really, but I'm learning a little bit better English. I'm like, it must be hard having to stand all day on your feet. If you're open, I'd love to introduce you to one of my Haitian friends that's killing it in business. And I know he's looking for people. Give me your number, and I'll try to have myself or someone reach out to you next week. My name's Jamie Villalobos, blah, 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 blah. Got the number. I don't even know if I can recruit the girl, but I got the number. Does that make sense? So do you see how I just gathered numbers? I didn't talk about the business. I didn't talk about client products. I didn't talk about these things. I'm like, just give me your number. We'll talk about more about it. I can teach you. Okay. So it's part of name gathering. Now, the Haitian girl, the Uber driver, the waitress, the whatever, the fill in the blank football coach, he can tell you no. It's okay. But if we prospect as we go, we start off with an abundance mentality of I have a big warm market. I was surprised Daisy came up with 25 names, to be honest, because she can't use her parents. She can't use a lot of her family. They're already clients, right? I was surprised she came up with 25 names. And then she had number 26, which was her old boss at Chick-fil-A. And she's like, I only have his social media contact. Can I put him? I'm like, nope, has to be a phone number. Or you're going to get a strike in inner circle. But so she put it as numbers 26 on the list, her old owner of her old Chick-fil-A that she worked at. So you guys get this. I want to challenge you really quick, and then we're going to wrap up here, but I want to challenge you really quick to do step one. Today was all about that phase one prospecting. We can't get into phase 2 and 3 and making money and building if we're not constantly adding names daily. Every time we close a sale, do we get 8 to 10 names? Are we even asking for a name? Every time we get a new recruit, are we trying to get 25 names? That's the name gathering. Get good at that. Get good at it. You're only going to get good at it when you keep trying over and over. Same thing with you make that massive list of your warm market and ask each of them for a name. Imagine you go through your cell phone and of 300, 400, 500 names, and you ask everybody for names, and on average, they each only give you one. Could you go 60 wide in 6 months? Absolutely, you could if everyone gave you one. But some of them will give you none. Some of them will say, I'll think about it. Some of them will give you 5. Some of them will give you 16. Okay? So we're going to go later into what we would do when you have a name. But I just want you going through this week between now and next Saturday to figure out how many names can you come up with using every strategy that we just talked about. I want you to come up with a biggest list you possibly can. Your warm market list. I want you to prospect everyone that comes within 3 feet of you this week. Don't be a chicken. When you go drop off your kids at the gymnastics, talk to the other parents. Talk to the coach. I was just thinking about you. Our company's expanding. I want to at least show you what I'm doing. Give me your number. I'll call you, tell you more about it. I know you're working with the kids right now. Just give me your number. I'll call you, tell you more about it. Can I call you this week? Within 3 feet, you're like a Wolverine on raw meat. Okay. Like you're getting that number. Just adding names. Don't worry about calling him. You want to call him, but you want to ask your SMD how to call him, do that too. But just how many names can you get between now and next Saturday? Some of you guys are going to get 600 names. Some of you guys are going to go, because you have a team already. It's not just me, myself, and I. You have a team already, and you're going to help them do the same. And maybe you're going to come up with 1,000 names between you and your team. Okay. Some of you guys are going to launch something magical in your business and in your future. All right. So